If you've been going around the good old internet looking for the right podcast to fulfill your New York Yankees needs, well, I'll be the first to deliver the good news to you. You have found it. Here on Yapping Yankees with me, your host, Mike Scudero, you and I will be discussing the latest news, takes, and talk throughout the entire Yankee universe. Oh, and there may be some ranting on my behalf. Yeah. Anyway, what do you say we get to it? Let's get to yapping! Well, hello there, my fellow Yankee fans, and welcome to episode 271 of the Yapping Yankees podcast. As always, I am your host, Mike Scudero, your friendly neighborhood Yankee yapper with the best yap in all the land. Here on the 28th day of December in the year 2025, with yet another extra large order of the Yappuccino for you. Yes. Another Sunday of teaching you some fluent Japanese. How's everybody doing? This is the last episode of 2025, guys.
Holy crap.
Holy crap indeed. Brilliantly delivered by the great Frank Barone, as always. That is absolutely nuts that it's the end of the year within the next just couple of days, honestly, because by the time most of you were listening to this, I got to recording pretty late tonight because I had my cousin and my brother over my apartment today, but getting started pretty late tonight. So by the time you're listening to this, it's probably at least tomorrow, Monday the 29th, whereas for me it's Sunday night the 28th. But it is insane that the year is about to end. 2026 is just around the corner, which also leads me to what else is right around the corner, being, just as a reminder, episode 275, which is going to be the final Yapping Yankees episode of this typical pre-recorded podcast format.
Oh, no!
Yeah, Joseph Joestar's not too happy about that. But yeah, so this is officially the final 5-episode stretch before I delve into the live streaming realm, guys. It's nuts. We got a lot coming up in the near future. It's going to be a lot of fun. 2026 is going to be the shift of a lot of things, which I'm very excited for, both my personal life and also for my content. So within the last 5 episodes, I am kind of sad about it, but I'm also looking very forward to seeing if the live streaming goes anywhere and what happens with that and what direction that takes me in and how fun that could be and which days I would do it on and all these sorts of possibilities and scenarios for it. I'm looking really forward to delving into it. But we're in that final 5-episode stretch. We got 271 today, and then at least a couple of episodes that'll happen in January, and then probably the last couple from beginning to mid-February. That'll probably take us to 275, just around the time that pitchers and catchers are reporting, and probably give or take around the time that position players are reporting as well. And that'll be when spring training is starting to get underway. The World Baseball Classic will be getting ready to get underway within weeks at that point, which I'm psyched for because most of you out there who especially are longtime followers of mine know that I am a big fan of the World Baseball Classic, contrary to a lot of baseball fans, which I don't understand because I've always loved the tournament. But that's another story for another day. That's basically all the stuff that'll be going on around the time that Yapping Yankees of this format comes to an end. And I'll just start to do live streaming. And again, you'll want to stay in touch with my social medias even more so than when I've been doing the show for the last almost 7 years of Yapping Yankees for almost 300 episodes worth, because it'll be primarily on there that I'm updating you guys of when I'm going to go live and what we're going to be talking about and just the whole rundown of things whenever, it's to come in real time. So you're going to want to stay in touch with my social medias, especially around that time. So be sure to follow me again. Another shameless plug here. Facebook fan page, Mike Scudero NY. Of the 3, that's probably where I'm least active, but just still follow along on there. This is where I'm the most active, my Twitter or X, so definitely be sure to follow me on there, at Mike Scudero, MikeScudiero. And then on Instagram, it's Mike Scuds97, and I mainly just occasionally post updates to my story on that more so than actual posts. It would just usually be my story, but the one that I talk the most on is definitely my Twitter or X because, hey, that's kind of the platform where real-time updates and real-time thoughts and things like that, things of that nature, are best for. because it's just like popping out your thoughts. So that's the deal with that, guys. The fact that we're in that final 5-episode stretch, kind of wild. And, what's not wild is the Yankees offseason so far by a freaking long shot. Yeah, you're not kidding. Oh my God. Friggin' talk about slumbering into the new year, am I right? Good Lord. They are not doing anything. It is absolutely insane. Like, listen, I like the small things they've done. I've said that on past weeks. I will not retract that. I still feel the same on that. I like the small things they've done. I like that they brought back Tim Hill. I like that they brought back Yarbrough. I like that they purged the bullpen of all of its liability arms. I like these things. They're good, smaller moves towards the beginning part of the offseason, including the qualifying offers and whatnot, like with Trent, for instance. Like, these are good off-season starters and good first small moves to kick things up and get things going. There's got to be a capitalization at some point that we have not friggin' seen so far. They are literally doing absolutely nothing, and it is insane to me. It is so frustrating to me. And I knew that if we weren't, I said it on the last episode a couple of weeks ago, that if we didn't see anything within the few days to follow that episode, within like a week or a week and a half or so, basically a few days before this episode today, that we were definitely not going to get anything until at least 2026, because now this is the holiday time and things usually rarely ever happen around this time, unless it's something like vital. If it's like a posting period for a Japanese player that ends before the new year, maybe you want to get something done right before New Year's Eve or something, that's another story. But otherwise, unless it's something that's extremely time-sensitive like that, you're probably not going to see anything major go down in the time between like Christmas and New Year's. Probably going to have to wait till the new year at that point. And that's pretty much where we're at timing-wise with the Yankees. I don't see anything happening at least until 2026, which is why the episode title today is what it is, Slumbering into the New Year, because that's quite literally what they've done. They made a move recently, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I just have to say that all the reports coming out about them not wanting to get these guys, but also like not even being remotely interested, not even in on discussions. Like, it's one thing if you've talked to people and then it's just not a good match and you don't think they'd be a good fit there, or they're maybe just not what you're looking for, not the holes you're looking to fill, not what you need. That's another story. You're not going to sign or trade for everybody under the sun, and not everybody is in need for what your team needs. But there are a lot of big names out there that would objectively help the Yankees, especially in specific areas in which they need help. And you're just hearing reports constantly that they're just not even talking to them. They're not even a thought on their minds. It's absolutely unbelievable to me. Like, for instance, I'll lead off with this. We all know that one of the biggest points of discussion that I've had ever since the offseason began was the Japanese players that were being posted this offseason, and I thought the Yankees should talk to at least all of them. Now, since I've spoken to you in the last 2 weeks, a lot of reports have come out about things that made me really pissed off, if I'm being honest with you. And it's making me that much more turned off to the 2026 season and just how seriously the Yankees are taking it, if they even are. All offseason long, we've heard that how great of a fit Tatsuya Imai would be. What a fantastic additional arm that would be to the rotation. Someone who the league is unfamiliar with, who has devastating stuff, and he could really take the league by surprise until at least they somewhat find a way to adjust to him from the very beginning. And especially when the rotation would be restored to full strength upon Rodon and Cole's return. Just having that kind of an arm there, and you're talking about guys like Luis Gil, really respectable arms when he's not crazy wild, that is, being like number 5s. That's when you know you got a kick-ass rotation. You talk about a rotation of like Cole, Fried, Rodon, Imai, and then Gil. And you got really good guys who would otherwise be in there, who are just looking from the outside in because the rotation's just that good. There's no room for them. Really just overpowers the rotation, which would also help an otherwise mostly weaker bullpen at this point. So it's really not a bad thing. Got quotes of him out in the media saying how badly he wants to take down the Dodgers, particularly on the big stage, apparently. Or maybe it's just that he wants to take down the Dodgers, period. Well, if you want to do it on the big stage in the World Series, you might want to pick an American League contender. The Yankees are there. That is, if they give half a crap, which is starting to show that they probably don't. But just all these things that make you feel like they're just out of touch and completely tone deaf, which, I mean, we've been through this routine with the Yankees and their front office before when hearing about off-season rumors or lack thereof. And it just feels like it's happening again. Now we get reports from Jack Curry on Yankees Hot Stove, and I'm telling you what, based on what the Yankees are doing, or I should say not doing this offseason, I don't know how they have a Yankees Hot Stove show, because there's absolutely nothing. The stove has been off the entire offseason. The knobs are on off. The burners are not burning. There's nothing going the hell on. So then you hear a report from Jack Curry on all of this, especially when it comes to Imai. And they basically more or less said that any connection with the Yankees and Imai, well, there is no connection. So much for that, right? Liar! New sound effect drop. Anakin Skywalker. Liar. That's right. I mean, all off-season long, we've been led to believe that there was a connection between the Yankees and Imai, and they would be really interested in each other, especially given the quote that he had, and that they're a great fit. Wants to take down the Dodgers? Well, we're your team. Got great stuff. Would add to an already overpowered rotation, especially when you consider Rodon and Cole being back, and hopefully as themselves, especially when it comes to Cole, who missed all of last year from Tommy John surgery. And it would be that much greater of a rotation. Just putting them to the next level with starting pitching. No. Now there is no connection between them. Okay. Then Murakami signs with the White Sox and does get much less money. I guess that report about him not being able to hit above a certain velocity, I think it was like 95 miles an hour, and having like a 100 average or less against pitches of that speed. I mean, I don't know. I saw the guy in the Classic, and I've watched film of him. Even if he did have that problem, I'm pretty sure, bro, that is not an unfixable issue. Like, just a few weeks of training, especially when it comes to big league training, like I'm pretty sure you could teach the guy to hit like 4 or 5 miles per hour faster. It doesn't seem like an impossible task for a professional athlete, especially someone of his stature, what he's accomplished over there. So kind of weird that would impact it to that degree if that's the case, or maybe they just morbidly misunderstood or just very poorly predicted what his market would be. Because people were talking about before he was posted, like months before, him getting in the hundreds of millions of dollars. 2 years, $34 million. Now, if I had to say of the 3 Japanese players, although I still would have loved him being a Yankee, don't get me wrong, I do think that in a lot of ways, even if he didn't have a lot of boxes they need to check, that he would have been an awesome fit here. That's just my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But I think he would have brought a lot of positive attributes here. Not the strongest defender, but he's got a great attitude and mindset about him. He's a left-handed hitter, and although the Yankees have plenty of those, Yankee Stadium is quite literally constructed for left-handed hitters, so I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world, to be honest. And any other flaws he does have, I don't think they're unfixable issues. And look at his age. He's in his mid-20s. You work with the kid. You continue to help him to develop. That's what you do. Especially if it's on a smaller deal like this. Like, really, what is the downside? So, although he was the one that, if I had to say, of the 3 I least wanted, I still thought he would have been a cool fit here. And it was kind of crappy to see him go to a non-competitive team like the White Sox for a couple of years, and probably after that, he'll probably go to the Dodgers or some West Coast team, for all we know. Who the hell knows? We'll have to wait and see. But it kind of just stunk to see that, because then you hear also there that the Yankees weren't even in discussions with him. Like, bro, it's one thing to not ultimately get somebody or think that they're a good fit, but you're not even, like, barking up the tree. Like, are you even freaking trying? I don't know. Like, Brian Cashman, that freaking bald doofus, and all of his minions over there under him, they're all proudly saying all the time that, oh, we're keeping our options open. We're talking. We're making our calls.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like, really, that's what they always say. Always about options being open, and we're making calls, and we're talking to people. Like, are you? Because every person, you just hear the Yankees aren't even in on them. Imai, the connection doesn't exist. Murakami signed, Yankees never spoke to him. And now, the one who I've really wanted all winter long, like I would have loved Imai, don't get me wrong. Maybe he and this other guy would have been about a tie as far as, I really wanted either him or Imai. The other him I speak of is Okamoto. Now you just hear of like the Pirates, the Padres, and the Angels being in on him, and that's pretty much it. And that the Yankees are not even talking to him either. Now, you want to say your downsides about the other ones, like Imai, if he even friggin' has any, aside from the fact that he has no major league experience, like the rest of them coming here. That's why they're being friggin' posted in the first place. Or you want to give your downsides about Murakami, certain aspects of why the Yankees don't need that. Fine. Okamoto checks a lot of boxes for what the Yankees need. Solid infield defender. Either of the corner positions. Right-handed hitter. Puts bat to ball with even some pop. What are we missing, guys? What are we missing? This is a great option. He or Imai are really the ones. Either or. I'm not asking for both. I'm not asking for a lot. Either of them. And right when the Imai thing was said, oh, there's no connection there, I was friggin' pissed. But I was saying, you know what? Then they better be after Okamoto. Now we're hearing that they're not even one of the team. Like bro, what are we doing, my guy? What are we doing? Like, do we care? This is the last season before a lockout's probably happening in the following offseason, and we're probably going to have salary caps. You go all out right now, my guy. This might be your last chance to do it. Like, at the end of the day, I guess it's a moot point because, as I said last episode, a couple of weeks ago, I had said on there, like, I guess all this discussion only means so much as I literally in the same breath predict the Dodgers to win a third year in a row as soon as they sign Diaz, and I still stand by that. So yeah, maybe it's all a moot point anyway. But in my opinion, that still does not mean that you don't put your best foot forward. If you're the Yankees or any other team who has a chance of competing next year. Not saying they will compete, especially with the Yankees since they're not doing a damn thing. But they could. If they get their head out of their ass, they could compete. It's almost January. And I know there's still time left, guys. I'm trying to be patient. I have been and I will continue to be. I know there's time left. But January is the final full month of the offseason, and it is days away. By the next time we talk, we'll be about a week in, or even almost 2 weeks into January already by then. And who knows if anything will even be done by that point. Why are they not even talking to these people? And maybe the reports are wrong. Maybe they got bad information. Maybe they are talking to them and the reporters just aren't locking in on it. I don't know. I only go based off the reporting because, hey, I'm a fan just like the rest of you mostly listening. I don't know if anybody else big out there has just happened to stumble upon my show by accident. But pretty sure most of you are just fans like I am. So I go by the reporting. That's kind of all we have. I'm not inside any organization. I'm not a professional baseball reporter. This is all I got to go off of. And all I know is that at the end of these guys' posting periods, or maybe after they sign, I'm being told that the Yankees are not even checking in on these guys. Maybe they look a little bit into them, but there's not even discussions going on. And I'm sorry, if that is in fact true, it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Imai could put what could already be a rotation we haven't seen in such a long time that much more over the top. Or if you don't want him, fine. Maybe some people argue that the offense doesn't really need any help. Well, the Bellinger crap has taken a hell of a long time too, so you might need some lineup help. Maybe you go after someone like Okamoto, a solid right-handed hitter. Also pretty good defender. Could really help you out. More seasoned and experienced than Murakami too, if you want to use that as a reason for him over Murakami. It's a valid reason. Maybe it could even be an excuse to not even have to worry about signing him for long term. If you have concerns signing people to long contracts, well, Okamoto's older than Murakami. He's more seasoned. He's more of a veteran. There's literally no reason to not at least be talking to Okamoto. None. I know that early on he was really involved with discussions with the Angels, and that was apparently a point of high interest with him. God only knows why. I mean, listen, I get it. These guys' big dreams are to come to play in the major leagues, and wherever they go to do so, it is humongous for them. Same thing for Murakami with the White Sox. I get that. But it's the Angels, bro. I mean, yeah, he'll get to play with Mike Trout. That's fantastic. And yeah, he made the dream. The dream's successful. He's a Major League Baseball player in the biggest league on the planet for baseball. Absolutely. Dream fulfilled, no doubt. But just strictly from a Major League Baseball fan and strictly from a Major League Baseball perspective, I wish that these guys would go to the competitors. Because you see what other huge Japanese guys are doing with competitors. They're winning World Series championships right now. Mostly Yamamoto and Ohtani. You see what they're capable of. You see that they're making waves in Major League Baseball now. Winning championships. Helping teams be just that much better than what they already are. The Japanese market is important. To completely dodge or avoid it is foolish. I'm trying to be patient, but I made one thing clear at the start of this offseason, and I'm sticking by it. I stay consistent as much as I damn well can. I said that if they didn't get at least one of these three Japanese guys, that I would be pissed. January's right around the corner. It's sneaking up on me, bro. It is. I'm getting pissed. Especially upon the reports coming out that they're not even talking to these guys. That's aggravating to me. If you're talking to them and you're just not on the same wavelength, you think that you could do better, maybe they're not checking off all the boxes you need to be checked off, I'll be willing to hear you out and listen to your reasons. Not hearing that they're even talking to them, that crap's unacceptable to me. I'm sorry. It's just crap. It's crap. So nothing's going on the Japanese side of things, which pisses me off. There's just Okamoto and Imai mainly left. You got Takahashi out there too, but I doubt they'll gulp to him if they're not talking to Imai. And then even with the Bellinger sweepstakes, man, you're not hearing anything on that. Except for the fact that what Jack Curry also said on Hot Stove, that the Yankees will bring them back on their terms. Like, brother, like what... What is this? Bellinger's top priority, and you want him back under almost any circumstances, but now you're talking, it's got to be on our terms. Listen, I understand that there were some pretty ludicrous rumors floating around lately about him wanting 7 years, or even people mentioning even 8 years. I don't know how true that is. It's a little ridiculous. But at least like 7 years. I'll say right now, I would not go 7 years for Cody. I wouldn't. I'd really like to cut it off at 5. Even 6 is really pushing it for me. I'd be really hesitant with 6. Maybe at one point I'd bend the knee, but like right now, I'd really rather not go the 6th year unless I really have to. I love Cody, but I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people might be saying out there like, oh, what's just one more year? What do you mean? It's another year is what it is. And Cody's career, as much as I love the guy, it's been a little turbulent and a little inconsistent. So long-term contracts with guys like that, it makes you sweat a little bit. I'd like to cut it off at 5. If he'd be willing to do 5, I'm not putting anything past that piece of crap Scott Boras. But I'd really like to not go beyond the 5. And if it's 7, then it's cooked. From a realistic perspective and what I would rather as a fan too. I don't want to take Cody on for 7 years. But it's just, we haven't really heard many discussions, at least those that we could verify to be like completely true. Maybe he is asking for 8 years. I don't know. That'd be completely outrageous if he was. And then I really wouldn't blame the Yankees at that point. But if it's like 6 years and they're saying like they're really far apart and the Yankees are getting all arrogant, like, oh, it's got to be on our terms. Like, bro, relax. Like, relax. You're not that guy anymore, Yankees. You're not that guy. You're not. You used to be, but you're not anymore. I hate to like talk down to them, At the end of the day, I root for them, so you might be like, oh, what kind of fan are you? I'm a fan of a team that is completely content with making it into the playoffs and then getting embarrassed every single year at the end of all of it. That's the kind of fan of a team that I am. So it's not being negative or being rude towards my team or being irrational. It's just being real. That's what happened, has it not? It's like maybe like tone down the arrogance a little bit if it's not as bad as you're making it sound, and just like lock in a little bit and give us a team that we could be proud of to root for. Like the AL East is getting better, man. This is serious. The Blue Jays are a powerhouse, as we just saw in 2025. They came within the skin of their teeth of beating the Dodgers even. The Red Sox, if you ask me, they're on their way up. The Orioles just signed Pete Alonso. The Rays, whatever with the Rays. But, I mean, the AL East is not as weak as it was a couple of years ago. So are you going to fall behind? Or are you going to try to keep up or even blow past? Like, what are we doing here? Getting mixed signals a little bit. It's just really, really strange what's going on. So now Bellinger's got to be on their terms. You're hearing some weird rumors like Jack Curry saying stay tuned. Like for what, dude? For the Mexican League MVP on a minor league deal? Like that's what we're staying tuned for? Like I don't know. Maybe I'll be shut up in the coming weeks. Maybe something big will happen. I hope so. But it's just really weird. Nothing's moving along. Like, yeah, some little things are being done. Like you heard the other day with the Rule 5 draft things going on. And like I said before, the other small moves they made with purging the useless bullpen arms, which was nice. Tim Hill, Ryan Yarbrough coming back. Like things like that, the small moves, yeah, you agree with that. Bros, as far as any of the other big things, like nothing's going on. No big trade whispers about any sort of a person. I know not everything's going to be made public, nor should it. But there's like nothing. There's nothing. Cody's got to be on their terms. Nobody's talking to the Japanese guys. Just baffling, man. It's really baffling. Like I said, especially with a lot of what the other teams have done. Like the Blue Jays brought in Dylan Cease, and they brought in Tyler Rogers recently as well from the Mets. Because that's where he most recently came from. Like the Orioles, they signed Shane Baz. They have Pete Alonso. They signed Ryan Helsley too, actually. We'll see if he does better there than they did with the friggin' Mets. Then they even signed Andrew Kittredge, who's been a respectable reliever for much of his career. And like I said before, the Red Sox are sort of on the rise. Like they got Sonny Gray, and they just traded for Wilson Contreras recently. Like, bro, where did that come from? Like I said, the AL East is getting better, dude. I don't know, man. The Yankees are in a weird place. It's getting really weird how they're just not doing anything. I don't know. Oh, and how could I forget? Obviously, the Yankees also, they brought back Paul Blackburn. Like, obviously, I can't forget that massive move, right?
Screw you.
Yeah, see, even Johnny Lawrence has fed the hell up. But, and I don't hate the Paul Blackburn move. I think it's nice when it comes to, like, middle relief. Like, it's a decent option to have, like, especially if Ryan Yarbrough's not needed in the rotation anymore at some point. If the Yankees don't make any rotation moves and they slide him in as, like, the 5 again, like they did for a bit last year, and you slide Yarbrough back into the bullpen, you could have a lefty and a righty middle relief option there. Like, I don't think it's that bad. It's a 1-year, $2 million deal. Who cares? It's fine. But again, it's small-scale stuff. And then just a few days ago, they come out saying that the Yankees signed Nick Torres, a first baseman / outfielder, and this is the 2025 Mexican League MVP that I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. And yeah, listen, he hit 345 last year with an 1147 OPS, 27 home runs, and it's nice. I personally prefer the Japanese players in the Japanese league as far as overall talent and capabilities over the Mexican league. I just trust the Japanese guys more. And this is just a minor league deal anyway. I know you can promote the guy. It's not really that big of a problem, but Like, I don't know, like that's it. That's the move. I don't know. That's what I tweeted the other day. Obviously, I don't truly think I would like to think in my soul that that's not the move, but that's just my immediate reaction. Like, yeah, that's what you got. That's it.
I want more.
Yeah, Anakin. Another new sound effect. He's very vocal today. Yeah, I want more too. It's like that's all heading into the new year. That's yeah. I don't know, man. It's really strange. It's really weird. Like I people are saying that he could platoon at first with Ben Rice, maybe. Like that's just not. I'm sorry, it doesn't cut it for me. It just doesn't. Not getting any of the Japanese guys, and especially if you don't get one of Tucker or Bellinger, which Tucker just seems less and less likely by the day too, obviously. And it's just a failure, honestly. And I was even just saying this to one of my friends the other day. Like, even if you just manage to get Cody back, and that's really like all you do, you don't really improve the bullpen. Like right now, even the moves that they've made that I've liked so far, with like Tim Hill and Ryan Yarbrough, and then if they bring Bellinger back, they brought back Paul Blackburn. At the end of the day, even if you seal all of that by getting Cody back, it's still not good enough, dude, because you're still just running it back. Those are all 2025 guys. You haven't made any additions or changes or upgrades. It's the same guys. We want new, improved, outside additions. So, like, even if they get Cody back, like, yeah, I'll be happy for that, but I'm not going to be satisfied. You need to keep going. There's more. There's more work to do. And I'm sure they'll be, like, very busy patting themselves on the back for getting Cody back if that reality does come to pass. But job's not finished at that point, dude. It's not nearly. I'd still like one of Okamoto or Imai, probably, maybe Imai since you'll have gotten help with the offense. But even so in that case, you still have the same offense with Bellinger coming back. And you still haven't added a righty like you so desperately want to do. So I would still like to see Okamoto come to the Yankees at that point. If not going to be him, then Imai to overpower the starting rotation. And you still need bullpen help, dude. Weaver and Devin, although they really, I mean, especially Weaver after his injury in particular, stunk, especially to finish off at the end. And we all know what Devin did here for about 85% of the season. Finished off strong. But, I mean, those guys aren't here anymore to potentially bounce back. You got Camilo Duvall. How much do we believe in him after what we saw in the second half? To not be absolutely wild and just get slammed around. Get absolutely friggin' shelled almost every appearance. After being a respectable arm in San Francisco. I mean, if he did lock in, that you'd have yourself a nice back end right now. Tim Hill, Duvall, Cruz, Bednar. Like, it's not an awful back end of the bullpen. It could be worse, but it could be better too. Like, I don't know. I think another reliever or two wouldn't hurt. So again, even if they just got Bellinger or they just got one of the Japanese guys, like, bro, job's still not finished. Like, I don't know what we're waiting for. I really don't. I don't know what they're waiting for. January is about to be here. That's the last full month, and it is a long one. You got time. But I don't like the reporting that no one is even being talked to. I don't like that. I think it's lazy. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's just plain stupid. Just unacceptable from an organization like the Yankees. Do you want people to take you seriously again? Like, what's the goal here? Why aren't we talking to these guys at the very least, at bare minimum? I don't get it. Someone please explain it to me. I hope the reports aren't true. It could be that they just got it wrong, or certain reporters' sources aren't reliable and they are talking to some of these guys and just talks are not going anywhere. But you're hearing reports that, like, oh, they were never even in on this guy. They never offered this guy. They never gave this guy an offer. Just all these reports. It's infuriating, honestly. It really is. I don't know, man. And you're seeing stuff move. I mean, say what you will about the Mets basically dismantling, but at least there's movement there. I mean, Murakami's off the board. You got the Red Sox making a trade. Blue Jays have made moves, and I don't think they're done, to be honest. The Orioles have been active between Pete Alonso and Boz and Helsley. And again, even teams like the Pirates, like teams like this, they're in on guys like Okamoto, and like teams are, there's rumblings, there's rumors, there's things going on. You're just not hearing anything about the Yankees. It's dead silent. I don't know how they kill the time on the air in the Yankees Hot Stove Show. I really don't. Might as well start talking about what their favorite musical album is of all time. I don't know. You got to find something else to talk about. Maybe bring me in to talk some anime. I don't know. It's just freaking ridiculous. I don't know what they do on that show. I mean, are you going to break down the signing of Nick Torres from the Mexican League? Like, yeah, those numbers are nice. I don't know if they're going to translate here. Who knows what kind of a role he's going to have on the team. It's starting out as a minor league deal. He's going to be a part of spring training, see what he's got there, I guess. I really don't know. Oh, and how about another name? Michael King. He was mentioned last episode, right? That was another option that the Yankees could really try to explore again in order to upgrade the rotation if they weren't going after an Imai. Nice reunion there. Would basically get him right back after the Soto trade, obviously. Soto's not here anymore. You get Michael King right back, and he really proved himself, and he proved me the hell wrong. I thought he would not be nearly as good of a starter, be able to prove himself as such the way he has in San Diego, but he did. And maybe it would have been a nice reunion. We'll never know, though, because he signed back with the Padres. And again, what's the first thing you hear from the Yankees' point of view right after he was signed? Yanks never made an offer. It's unbelievable. It really is. Every single person you see, even if they're not officially signed yet, the Yankees are not in on them. Not in, not in, not in, not in. Are we doing anything? Are we all collectively doing Brian Cashman's charity bout where he just sleeps on the sidewalk in a sleeping bag all night? Like, are we all just doing that together now? Talk about slumbering into the new year, my guy. What is going on? I'm telling you, the era when the Yankees were at least in on just about everybody, that is so far in the past, it's just sad. It's really, really sad. These just aren't the Yankees that I began rooting for back in 2007. It's just not them. I mean, at that point, they had the reputation of making the playoffs and just getting eliminated for the last bunch of years at that point. But I mean, I have 2009, and I'll tell you right now, they maintain this mindset and this approach to every season. That's all I'm ever going to have is 2009. Lucky me, I get to be born into the generation where the Yankees had all their titles through all the years, and I'm primarily in this one. I still got to see and enjoy and comprehend one. That's more than a lot of other sports fans can say, so I don't want to appear ungrateful, because I'm not. I am grateful for 2009, but I mean, we all root for our teams to see them win every year, right? We know it's not possible to win every year, but we want them to put their best foot forward and make a run for it. And who knows, maybe it'll happen. I don't feel that that's what the Yankees want. You even hear the verbiage, like, when they're talking about how they feel about their own team, like they feel that they're good enough to compete and win the AL East. Since when did that verbiage there change? Since when are we talking about good enough to win the East and not good enough to win a title? A title! Why is that? Why are those words nowhere to be found anymore? It's like their perspective and their goals and their motivations have completely changed. Like, these are the Yankees? I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, you see it in their approach or lack thereof. You see it in the verbiage of what they say when they're talking about themselves and how they feel about their team. They really think that this team right now is good enough to compete? No, it's freaking not. You got Aaron Judge. You got some nicer pieces on the team, too. Like, Jazz had himself a nice year last year, mostly. I mean, he had his gags that would piss the hell out of you. Like, poor base running, and the defense would make you scratch your head sometimes, even though you know he's more talented than that. The offensive production, especially considering it's from a second baseman, they were very good objectively. And, they have Judge. Trent had himself a very nice year in 2025. Who knows if he'll come anywhere close to in 26? We'll have to see. Maybe he will, and I love that. I think Trent is a lot more talented than people give him credit for. But he had a very big outlier season in 25. We'll see what he does next year. And then you got, as long as Cody's not back here, you really can't consider him a part of the team. As of right now, at least. Then you got Jason, who hasn't really proven himself completely yet. And you got Spencer, who people are talking about might be in the big leagues next year, but he hasn't gotten a single at-bat in the major leagues, so who knows what he's capable of at this level, or how long it will take for him to be capable at this level. Nothing's a guarantee. I mean, our shortstop is plenty an example of that, wouldn't you agree? That despite hype, nothing's a guarantee. It's really, really weird, man. And like I said, yeah, even Cody's not a guarantee. There's whispers about him potentially going to the Mets now. He could check some boxes over there. He'd be a nice addition to their outfield, or possibly even get some reps over at first base if they need him to occasionally. And they have enough big left-handed hitters like Lindor and Soto, and they majorly dismantle a lot. So, I mean, they had guys like Alonso right-handed to balance things out a little bit. Now even he's gone. Nimmo's gone. So, like, they need some more offensive help. So he might go there. Who knows? Plenty of other Yankees have gone there. On that same subject, you got Luke Weaver being on the Mets now. So the Mets basically now have the Yankees' first half of the back end of their bullpen. Weaver and Williams. Weaver was good at the very beginning, then he got hurt, came back, and sucked for most of the rest of the way. And Devin, up until the very end, was awful. Either way, the Mets now have that as the back end of their bullpen since they lost Diaz and lost a lot of other guys. Like Tyler Rogers, like I mentioned before, who's now in the Blue Jays. So with Weaver being on the Mets now, Williams being on the Mets now, Soto being on the Mets now, so many guys being on the Mets now, I'm starting to think that David Stearns is a closeted Yankee fan, guys. Like, what is going on? What's going on with everything? Honestly, this is one of the more irritating off seasons as a Yankee fan that I could remember. So far. I mean, the last few years, a lot of winter meetings had exciting things happen for the Yankees as far as big moves. Or even just like any time before New Year's, like things happened. Now, aside from like a Mexican League signing, you're not going to get anything until after January 1st. And who knows what we're getting even after that. It's baffling. The Yankees' approach right now, to me, is absolutely baffling. You're just not getting the impression that they're really moving anywhere, that they're not locked in on much of anybody. They really, truly think, as of right now, and maybe a move in the next few weeks will prove me wrong and shut me up, but as of right now, their lack of action tells me that they actually believe that this team is good enough to compete next year. And that is mind-boggling to me, that they actually believe that. That anyone of sound mind could actually believe, upon looking at this roster as currently constructed, that they're good enough to compete next year, especially with a fast improving American League East. Forget the rest of the playoffs or getting into the World Series. How about your own damn division? I guess maybe that's part of the reason why they were talking about, we're good enough to win the AL East, but what about after that too, dude? Like, where's the rest of it? And that would make sense as to their approach and their overall mindset, given what's happened to them for so many years in a row now. You just go into the playoffs, that's great. They made it, content with that. And they not only always just ended in elimination, but usually in humiliating fashion. Think of how the last few years have ended in the playoffs. It's always humiliation. The Blue Jays crapped on them this year. Especially at the end, crapped on them. 2024 won their first pennant since 2009. Fantastic. End of game 1 and inning 5 of game 5 speaks for themselves for the entire series. 2023, they didn't make it. 2022, swept by the Astros. Clean sweep. 2021, wild card elimination at the hands of the Red Sox. I mean, this decade, about halfway over, it's been full of just ultimate humiliation. And here we are, this offseason going into 2026, probably the last season that will not have a salary cap, where it's your last chance to go nuts if you want to, just given the talks that are going on with the upcoming CBA. Also next year, because of said CBA, there could very well be a lockout that just takes baseball away from us from an undisclosed amount of time. And guy after guy after guy after guy, lots of guys that would really help the Yankees and check a lot of boxes, they're not even being made an offer, or maybe not even being spoken to. It's very aggravating. Maybe some people who only became a Yankee fan within the last 10 years or so, they're much newer, they didn't experience 2009, they're very used to this making the playoffs and getting eliminated sort of mantra every single year. Maybe they're just cut from a different cloth and they don't care as much. Guess what? I give a crap. I've seen this team win. I want them to get back there. I know they can if they just put their minds and their money to it. Whether you like it or not, money's a part of it. It's the Yankees we're talking about. And just get it the hell done. I'm so sick of hearing Hal Steinbrenner talking about how it's silly for people to assume that they made a profit, hearing all this payroll and budget and profit crap. Bro, you probably made profit on the TV deals and subscriptions alone. Let alone for merch, parking, attendance. The TV deals included with that. How about the streaming deals? The money you make through MLB.TV that's blacked out half the time. Ads, making the playoffs, your players winning awards. Please, there's a laundry list of ways that teams make profit, especially nowadays. And that's not even mentioning the prices for other things, food, beverages, everything that they charge at Yankee Stadium. Forget about it. To get the profits lecture from Hal Steinbrenner is a freaking knee slapper. If you're in that much of dire straits, my man, and you're struggling that much, then sell the damn team.
Quiet!
I really wish he would be. I really do. He digs himself a really ugly hole when he talks about these things. I know he doesn't care, but it's just embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. So, yeah, a lot of things are moving, a lot of things are shaking, a lot of rumors going on around the league the last few weeks and continuing into the new year, but basically none of them involving the Yankees. Basically none of them. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I don't know. But I'm not feeling good about it right now. Not feeling good. Not getting Okamoto or Imai, and not getting bullpen help. Even Cody Bellinger, which seemed pretty much right up their alley, particularly at the start of the offseason. Like, it was a pretty straightforward thing to say that Bellinger is going to be a top priority and he's going to be back. It's almost January, he's not back. So even that's not really as cut and dry as you might have originally thought, as we might have all originally thought. It's just not acceptable. Maybe ultimately, when the offseason's said and done, and hopefully some things will have actually happened by then, Maybe it will be acceptable. Maybe it'll be more than acceptable. But right now, it is unacceptable what is going on. Or what is not going on is really what I should say. I want the Yankees to act like the Yankees again. And I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't know what it's going to take for them to do that. It's really just in the grand scheme of things. Again, this offseason, I'm repeating myself a little bit now, but I don't care. This offseason, you have something going on next year with the CBA where the owners, Hal Steinbrenner included, are pushing for a salary cap. There's going to be only so much you could do every offseason from then on as far as payroll once that is enforced, if it is. And if it is enforced, you're going to have a salary cap probably for the rest of time, unless something unforeseen happens. That means this offseason is pretty much the last chance you have to go all out and do what you have to do. Put your best foot forward financially. And you're out here talking about budget, profits. Come on. Even Steve Cohen made the Met fans irate recently because he basically more or less called people idiots for not considering like the part of payroll that's impacted from guys being sent down and brought back up and all these little things that could minorly impact payroll, and basically going after everybody for not considering these things, which is coming off like penny pinching on his behalf from a 20-some-odd billion-dollar hedge fund guy who swore that things would be different with the Mets and would be disappointed if they didn't win the World Series within his first 5 years being the owner, and this is a new era for spending and that they're different and that they're going to compete with everything and everyone. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility now that he owns the team. And now not only is he dismantled, but despite all he is worth and all that he could do, he is now going after fans, breaking his months-long silence through all the dismantling crap. Now going after people for not considering minor impacts to payroll, like bringing guys back or sending them down and things of that nature. I don't know what's getting into these owners, man, but it's getting weird. That's all I'm saying. It's getting really freaking weird. That even guys like Steve Cohen are putting statements like this out there to the public. It's kind of insulting. Really, really weird times we're living in. I don't know. And the fact that this is all happening again in the scope of a potential salary cap being introduced to baseball for the first time starting next year, that could very well result in a months long, or who the hell even knows how long, strike and baseball being gone. Just trying to stay on track with the Yankees, though. I mean, I'm just waiting for something, anything at this point. For the last few episodes, I've spoken about how I'm happy about the little things they're doing. I need to see the bigger things start to take form here. I need to start to see that. I need to start to see the bigger plan coming together, and I need to see it. Where's the intensifying of the Bellinger talks? Why is nobody else basically being spoken to? Again, I will reiterate. If you just bring back Cody in the next few weeks, will I be happy? Sure, I will be. Is it good enough as far as improving the team and making legitimate differences to make even more of a run at things next year? No, it's not enough. I said if they didn't get one of the 3 Japanese guys, I'd be pissed. And I will be. I wanted at least one of those guys, particularly Okamoto or Imai. I wanted Bellinger. If Tucker was possible, sure, but Bellinger. And relief help. 1 or 2 more arms. I don't think that's a crazy ask, to be honest with you. Anything less than that, I don't think the Yankees are going to be nearly good enough again, and I will vocalize that just fine if that's the end result come the end of the offseason. I have no problem saying that. I said last year that the Yankees were not going to make it back to the World Series in 25 and that the Dodgers were going to win again. I said that. I got no I'm not here to glaze the Yankees. I'm here to talk about the Yankees. Yap about the Yankees, if you will. Even if it's things that we don't necessarily want to think or hear. That's how I feel is my responsibility as a fan. That's how I am as a fan. Some other people may be overly negative. Some other people may be part of the toxic positivity crowd, which I cannot stand. I'm just trying to be a realist over here. That's all I could say. All I could say at this point, otherwise, aside from that, guys, is that, we'll see if any more Yankees want to go over to David Stearns and the Mets. No, I'm just kidding. Not totally. But otherwise, we'll see what January has to offer, because I highly doubt anything else is going to happen within these next 3 days before January 1st rolls through. And that's basically that. It's basically on to January, and usually nothing too major happens right before spring training. Maybe sometimes it has, but January is really the last big month, because not all of February is off season. About a week or two in, your pitchers and catchers are reporting, then your position players are reporting, you're getting ready for games to start, who's getting ready to go to the World Baseball Classic for this year in particular. Things move and shake in February. January is really the last still month. Make something happen. Okamoto, Imai, Bellinger, bullpen, make something happen. I'm sick of hearing the reports that an offer wasn't made. They're not in on them. They're not talking to them. They're not in touch with them. I'm sick of it. Slumbering into the new year, baby. I'm hoping that change once the new year itself actually comes around, but right now, that's the deal. And that's basically all I have for you today, my friends. Nice and shorter episode, especially in comparison to the others, but no social media segment for today. I'll try to come back at you with one on the next episode. Next episode's likely going to be in another 2 Sundays, because next weekend's my birthday weekend, so it's going to be completely just taken up with a lot of stuff. So you'll probably hear from me again on January 11th. That'll probably be when episode 272 is. And then after that, it'll be probably the 25th. Will be 273. And then, I guess the 8th will be 274. February 8th. And then maybe the 22nd, the 15th or the 22nd, I'll see will be 275. And that'll be it for this format, guys.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah, but thank you, Anakin. That's honestly how I'm choosing to look at it. Yeah, it is always sad when a certain era comes to an end. This has been remarkable. It's been fun. And I really do enjoy doing it, but I'm also very excited to see where this live streaming thing leads. I love live streaming. I've done that. I did a bunch of Instagram lives with you guys years ago, Twitter lives, or the Periscope, whatever it was called. And I've even done some Facebook lives. Maybe I'll even get into doing some YouTube lives. I don't know. We'll see. But whenever I've done it, I've always had a really good time. I really have. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think that is where the fun will begin, as Anakin Skywalker so eloquently says. But that's how I'm choosing to look at it. Looking forward to it. 4 more episodes to go, my friends. But for now, that is all for today's episode of Yapping Yankees, and I hope you enjoyed it. Just a little sit back and yap session about what's going on this offseason, or I guess, again, I should say what is not going on for the Yankees this offseason, because it's just stagnant. But just a sit back and sort of a semi-rant yap sesh with you today. But just had to get some of that out of my system, and some of the reporting that went on this last week. Some of the most recent news with Contreras to the Red Sox, Murakami signing with the White Sox, Blackburn back, King signing, Weaver to the Mets, just certain things that have happened in the last couple of weeks that I wanted to mention, along with the Yankees just being really dormant and just slumbering, with 2026 right around the corner, just sleeping away, like Brian Cashman in his sleeping bag. It's our favorite analogy to use as Yankee fans, and that's what we'll continue to use as long as nothingness continues to happen. But Otherwise, remember to follow me on all socials, guys. As always, my Facebook fan page, like I said at the open of the show, at Mike Scudero NY. My Twitter or X is at Mike Scudero, and my Instagram is Mike Scuds97. Please be sure to subscribe to Yapping Yankees on all 4 of the platforms it is available on if you have not already. That's YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Like, subscribe, and comment wherever you may be listening, or just do whatever it is that you do to spread the word and show your love for the show. And if you've missed any past Yapping Yankees episodes, do not worry about it. Episode 1, almost 7 years ago, all the way up to 271 today. Every single Yapping Yankees episode that has ever been. You can find them on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. But if you're more of a YouTube listener or viewer, like I tend to be, that's totally fine. Just know that I didn't start uploading the show on there up until episode 34. So episodes 34 up to 271 are available on there for your listening pleasure. Otherwise, once again, I thank you all 3,000 for listening to me yap today, my good friends. I have been your host, Mike Scudero, and we shall yap again on January 11th in the new year 2026 when I come at you with episode 272 of Yapping Yankees, as 4 more episodes of this traditional pre-recorded podcast format remain as of that episode being done. But until then, guys, the usuals, hang in there, be patient, please stay safe, look out for your loved ones, go ahead and kick life's ass this week, as I always remind you to do every single episode, and I do wish each and every one of you a very happy, healthy, and safe, especially safe, particularly in today's world, guys, can't downplay that, New Year, Wednesday night into Thursday, as we bring 2026 up to the dish next. It is absolutely insane. And then 2 days after that is my 29th birthday.
Yay!
Why, thank you, Gojo. Yeah, I can't believe that. 29, holy crap. So there's that. There's New Year's coming up. And I do also, I can't believe I didn't mention this at the open. I'm so sorry. I do hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas and a good holiday. Mine was very nice. Got to split time with all sides of both mine and Victoria's family, so that was very nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas as well, got everything you were looking to get, and spent some good time with your loved ones. But still more to go, guys. The celebrations are not over yet. Like I said, New Year's this week, which is absolutely bonkers to think about. And again, I hope you guys have a happy, healthy, and safe one. My birthday right after that, and then it's back into the grind at the top of January. What can I say? So, guys, until we yap again in 2026, for the last time in 2025, take care, and in praying that they finally freaking do something at some point, actually big and noteworthy, let's go Yanks.